I think this is appropriate then that we could do the TEDx because we had some language issues there. Minu, perhaps you could let's have a team of three experts so they can kind of share, help out. Okay. So for those of you who haven't played it before, I'm going to share a slide deck. I think it's 10 slides. Okay. Um, the experts obviously haven't seen the slideshow before, so they will have to uh, somehow tie the picture to what is the theme and talk about it, and what is a particularly brave strategy is to say, and indeed, my next picture deals precisely with this thing because that you're now committed then to tying the next picture to whatever it is that you're talking about. Okay. But having then a second and a third person there to come in, they can of course disagree with you or provide, other commentary. Okay, so we've got Alla and Shraddha and Pretigaya. Well, I'm delighted to be able today to invite these three experts who, possibly for a future conference, to share their research and thoughts about storytelling and acquiring English. Alla, I'm going to hand it over to you. Are you ready to begin?
For sure. Of course, it's a great honor for me to share my deep knowledge with the audience. And the first picture will definitely show my main thought, my main reason why I decided to give a talk today.
Well, and we really appreciate that because we have people here whose language may not be good. So the fact you're doing an illustrated lecture is much appreciated. So without further ado, here is your first slide.
Exactly, that's a fantastic slide, definitely illustrating what I was about. So, our great ability to speak, yeah, it gives us so much, forgot the word, so much benefit. For example, poor speechless animals can't talk. And look at this poor little creature. She has this number on on its ear, and that the only information it can share with us. So we should
Mm.
definitely appreciate our great skill of talking, our great
Yes.
skill of.
Now, Dr. Shraddha, could you please explain to us the significance of 7018?
Yes, thank you for inviting me. And that was an excellent point put ahead by Alla prior that we are separate from animals because, as I'm doing right now, we can speak. This poor little babe on the screen that you see with the 7018 doesn't know whether that's her weight in grams or if that is her call number, as in, when you call someone, that's her telephone number that she wishes to share, or if that is her index number, and if there are really 7,017 others that went on before her, or there will be another 7,019th one to come after her. Imagine if you were that babe over there with
Mm.
something punctured in your ear. Would you not have lots of words to say?
I can see then that our third panelist, Pratigya, you're looking a little skeptical about that. Shall I proceed to the next slide for you?
Yes, sure, please. Thank you. Thank you for that. See, often when we speak, we clearly know what we are going to talk. And how we saw in the previous one, the sheep, the babe, as Shraddha has very clearly put, the right word is very important, the babe, has no clue what the number is. So, a lot of times when we as human beings struggle between right and left, to be very honest, I struggle myself. Every time I'm told you need to turn right, I do this to check if this is right or that is left. It's very important to have clarity of information, to know how something works or why something works. That is when you can demarcate between your right and your left, two completely different things, although they do converge right in the middle. Thank you.
Yes, but I want to remind you of the topic, which is the importance of storytelling and in teaching English. So, what is the story that you tell in relation? I mean, if you could just give us a brief outline of the story connected to this picture.
Sure, sure. I can see Allah's excited, but let me just finish Allah before I move on to you. So you see, you see, there is a right brain and the left brain, and stories are something amazing which can bring both your brains together. And all that a storyteller does with their language is just play it around like how a puppet is done through the strings, and that is what this entire concept of storytelling and learning language can be explained through this one single picture. Although it's not a story per se, it's about how stories work. Over to you, Ella.
Well, let's move then to the story.
Yeah, exactly. Here you can see a girl who actually is trying to make a good choice. So actually she doesn't know where to go, to the right or to the left. She doesn't know which decision to take. A lot of stories teach us how to make decisions. That's why I think storytelling is deadly important for people, because it shows us the consequences of our decisions. So very often, yeah, we stuck like this young woman trying to find the best decision. So storytelling really helps us. That's what I wanted to say.
If I may jump in, Miss Alla, and exactly this is why you put this slide here, right, to explain how stories are pouring down upon us, right, just like the rain on this girl. Stories pouring down on her, she is unable to speak. So acquiring language skills is extremely important in order to storytell. Otherwise, you will be caught like her or like her with one leg in the air and being supported and no language to stand upon, and there's a great story there naturally with shells and sand and the seashore and everything, and who knows, and maybe a scissors in that trunk of hers, but without the language to explain how those things are connected for her story, she doesn't know whether to go to the left or to the right or to stare into the distance. So, if I may hand this over, but Prati, the next slide that we have in this deck here is definitely going to tell you how to acquire that language if this babe wants to tell her story.
Perfect. Yes, this is exactly how you work on your language. You roll your tongue, you try out these different words: wishing well, water, wicked, witch, waffle, whale, and whoa, whoa, whoa. We could just go on and on with these words. How do you tell a story? It's by working on your language. And how do you work on your language? See, simple things. At times when you play an online game with friends on an improv, say you have an improv game, and when somebody throws out a word, if you can't catch it right, it becomes a real challenge. It's very important that you pronounce your words really clear. Although we all come from different accents, the words are the same for everybody. So it's very important you get them right. And that's what you do through stories.
I'd love to know what the story of the wicked witch with the waffle and the whale is about. Could you just? I think that's a Russian story, isn't it, Alla?
Definitely, it's a very famous Russian story, and I think we can find the plot in the next slide if we have it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's exactly what the story is about. It's when an old big wicked witch wanted to make a feast and invite all her friends from different countries, other wicked witches from different countries. Yes, to come and share stories and so on, so on. So she decided to make a fantastic menu, and the main item on the menu was something which you can never meet in Russia: a whale. So the story is about how she was getting a whale for her friends. A very exciting story, and I'll definitely share it one day with you.
Well, we look forward to that indeed. Thank you very much.
But I know that in India there is a very similar story. So maybe my colleagues may share this story with us, just shortly, just an idea.
Sure. the story revolves around the traditional tale of the thirsty crow. Well, the wicked witch wanted water from the well, but it was really, really low. So she tried throwing waffles in, and then she had this entire menu that she was throwing in there to try to raise the water. But no water, no water. So eventually she threw.
Finally, don't forget Shraddha, she threw the whale to get the water out. Exactly.
You have it right
Oh,
there,
yes,
Preeti.
yes.
She was
Oh,
looking
I
for
love
the
that
right
story.
word to
I
throw
love that
inside,
story.
and that word was the whale. And once that whale hit rock bottom, voila, the water had risen to the top. And the wicked witch was feeding,
Trying to
was
enter.
giving the water to her animals. Because her animals were thirsty. No crow there.
Isn't it
Which,
all about scaffolding? I mean, I just had to comment.
Yeah,
Oh
sorry,
yes,
we did have a
it
member
is
of the
about
audience.
scaffolding there, Preeti. Yes, it is. So while the wicked witch was throwing lots of things inside, these animals were very keen to understand exactly what is happening, because the well seemed to be taking all the things. I mean, so many things were thrown into it, everything on the menu, the waffles and God knows what not. And that's where the donkey, the dog, the cat, and the hen, the rooster, and the witch gave out her happy witch laugh. And within seconds, they were all standing one on top of the other, trying to look in what is the thing that they have to throw in for the water to come out. So that is how the scaffolding works, to look deeper into the well within us.
I just wanted to say that that's exactly the way we make people speak. So for some people, they can't speak out because their speech is deeply buried inside them. But just stone by stone, whatever we throw in, whales or water or whales or waffles, the level goes up, and then they start talking. Just as we can make these animals, I think this way we can even make animals talk, just pebble by pebble. That's what I wanted to say. And
I
Well,
storytelling.
parable by
let's
parable,
get
even.
started.
parable by parable,
This one
animal
also
by animal.
stands out to say, like how I was saying earlier, our accents are different. So some of us might sound like we are braying, some of us might sound like we are woofing or meowing or rooing, or yet it's all about coming in together and doing it together.
It's all
So-
finally about acquisition of that language skill in order to tell your story, whether you bray or you woof or you meow or you cock-a-doodle-doo. It's all language.
We have 2 more slides after this one.
Okay. So we build on, these are the building blocks of our storytelling, one word at a time. If you're deep inside that well of yours and you don't have a single sentence to pull out, pull one block, pull out one word. Whether it's a waffle or a whale or a wishing well, it doesn't matter. Pull one word at a time to build up. The next slide, my esteemed colleagues will explain, is what you feel like.
It's complete euphoria. Once you have the story, once you have the language, once you know how to bray or woof or meow, that is the kind of feeling that we have, that yes, I have got it now and I have my story to tell and I'm ready to share it and shout it out to the entire world. I have my language, I have my story, I'm ready to tell it out.
Yeah, and
Well,
also have my timing. I really managed to make my story short enough. So everything works at 90 degrees.
On the other side, on the flip side, for the audience, if you do not have the correct language, this is what they look like, the audience.
This is our final
They find
slide.
other ways of entertaining themselves, obviously, if you cannot hold them with your story.
Yeah, it also shows us that other ways of delivering information also exist in the world. So sometimes you can make yourself understood with no language, with no speaking, using other forms of language. So here, I guess the man is quite what do you say it? Confident.
Quite fluent is what you want to say in body language.
For me, this is also very symbolic as to how language and stories mingle together. and they come together and there's smiles all over.
Exactly. So we should not forget about gestures while telling. That's what I also wanted to add. But I do agree. It's a great illustration how stories and gestures and understanding come together.
Yes,
Well,
this
thank you very
it
much
ties up
indeed
well.
for that
Thank you.
presentation, which makes us understand the importance of storytelling in learning, not only how to communicate, but more importantly, the language of love.
My
Wow,
goodness.
nice, 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 nice. We haven't done that for a while. I think having
What
three
fun.
people is really good because the three of you work off each other and it reduces the amount of stress and we just get kind of different
It keeps
perspectives,
moving forward.
keeps it moving and it provides a variety and that kind of, I thought it was great.
I was wondering what could be the flip side, Shraddha, and you just nailed it.
Great, great.
So did you make this up, Roger, at this moment, or was it?
No. I'd put it together and we'd never used it and it was there
Oh,
and we hadn't
okay.
done it. So again, I invite anybody just to, I mean, in a way it was slightly because I had no idea how you were going to develop the story, how the scene. But yes, I had my theme of like, storytelling and language teaching. And I felt some of them were quite natural, but others were completely off topic. And you throw those into, to challenge people. So it's a fun thing for anybody to do. Just go in and do your Google search, look for funny pictures, strange pictures, whatever you want, and put together a deck of like 10 slides. And then probably about slide number 8, just to say there are 2 more slides after this so that they know that they're coming to the end. But usually what we do is we throw it out to the audience to suggest a topic. What would you like to find out about? And they say hydroelectricity or something. And we say, well, that's great. And we happen to have here, 2 experts, 3 experts who are happy to talk about it. And then you've got the slideshow to go. So either way can work.
So the slides are related to hydroelectricity. You said
No,
hydroelectricity.
not at
Not at
all.
all.
Not at
Some
all.
random slides.
Random slides, and this is which is why it's really fun to do.
Okay.
I remember one of the very first ones we did, and it was so good. It was Alla, and she was asked to talk about decluttering. Decluttering.
Okay.
And she just took the, pictures. And, I think the first one, if I remember, it was a single tree in a field, right? I mean, it was an absolute gift for her. And she just like lapped it up, because it was just like, it was absolutely perfect. But then other things were, geese playing in mud or something. And there's no connection at all. So that's where the fun is, because you then have to try and find what the picture could represent and how you tie it in with whatever, so it's probably best not to have anything in mind, but just look for contrasting pictures.
We've done the contrasting pictures slide, and then one of us just suggests a theme, and then the speakers who haven't seen the slides before and don't know about the theme ahead of time, just
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah.